Hey guys, it's now Sunday. I'm not exactly dressed for gardening today, but that's because I've done most of the work in the garden today. So I have just stopped by on our way going out to give you guys a quick tour of what's been happening this week. And we've actually got quite a lot of growth going this week. So yeah, let's have a look around. So after thinking that I might have been killing off all of my sunflower when I chopped their heads off on, what was that, Tuesday? They're coming back really strong. I mean, this guy's huge. And you can see the new sprouts coming up already, the new shoots coming up already. So, you know, I'm hoping, we've got lots of branches coming up lower down as well. I'm hoping this means that we are actually going to get loads of sunflower coming off of them. So they're all looking really good and healthy. He's helping me out today with some watering. My dahlia he's looking really good, big and huge. These two that were starting to come up in the bottles aren't doing very much. I might actually take the bottles off of them. Oh, that one's completely disappeared. What's going on here? So you can see a tiny bit of the shoot coming up, but there was more last time, so I might take the bottles off of them. Maybe they don't like it. What about you? It might be just a bit too hot under those bottles right now. So we'll take them off and see if they do anything more. This is my other dahlia coming through. The places where I put in seeds, I don't seem to have anything coming up yet. I don't know if they're going to do anything. They just seem to be blank spots. These are the dahlia that I grew from seed at home, which are all getting a bit bigger. This is my verbascum, and after doing nothing for a couple of weeks, it's actually starting to leaf out a bit more now, and just in a week has got much bigger and is looking much happier. Still not looking very big or spike flowery-ish, but it gives me hope. Carry on back through the garden, and we've got my poppy, which again are not doing as much as I would like them to do. I've just kind of got a few bunches here and there, so let's see what comes of them, if anything. I'm not sure how far they're going to progress. Down this end, I mean, these are getting nice and big. These are my kind of pink ball things. Sorry, I've forgotten what their actual names are. Now, I've got, if you can see here, I think there's quite a few coming up together, and then I've got one in the middle and then none here. So I might actually try and separate those out a bit and take some of these ones and put them in the blank spot, see if I can transplant them a little. Not sure. Then next we've got my aster, which are putting on a bit of height, just not very quickly. My ergonum, I still don't know how to say that properly. I've only got 2 left. They did not like the heat this week at all, and it has been very, very hot. The second line of those is completely gone. And these ones, I think I've got 3 left, although I think that might actually be a weed. So not much happening there. The same with my echinacea, it seems to have just died and vanished. That is not an echinacea in the middle. And my scabious as well. I think that's maybe it. Not really sure. But behind that, my pink pokers are doing quite well. They're getting some height on them. My verbena is loving the heat. It's getting really big, so that's good. My nigella behind that is probably needing thinned out a little. And then my calendula is coming on really well. My zinnia are getting really big. If you remember, I pinched those out, so let's go have a look at that. Here's one of the zinnia that I pinched out, and you can see this is where I pinched it, and it's already put out these 2 really big branches, and I've got other ones coming out of the sides here as well, so yay, that's looking good. This one too, that's where I pinched it, and you can see it's putting out more as well. So that seems to have done them good, and hopefully I'll get lots of zinnia because I don't have very many other flowers coming. These ones I was going to leave a bit longer before I pinch them, although it looks like maybe the back row, do you see any buds yet? Or maybe thinking about budding. So I might pinch out some of them next week. That might be my work for next week. And then we've got my cosmos again. I pinched out these cosmos, and again you can see where I pinched it here in the middle, and it's already put out these 2 new branches. This one, you can see where I pinched it, and then the new branch is coming. Yeah, these are all looking really good. So that's great news. Look at the size of that one. That's where it was pinched, and it's already put out these 2 new big shoots. So I did these front ones this week, and I'll do those back ones next week. Just let them get a little bit bigger and then pinch them out too. And then finally we go to, this is my Ami, which is starting to come up. It might need a bit thinned out there as well, though I'm loath to thin it out because this front row I've only really got 1, 2, really, and then there's kind of a big pile of them over there. But look at my amaranth, isn't it doing good? It's really put on some height this week. I mean, those are the little seedlings that I put in just last week, and they've already come up, so the amaranth is really liking the heat. And they might need pinched out pretty soon as well, which is great news. Now, these are the amaranth that I had in the bottles because they were being eaten, and they still look like they're being eaten, but I took the bottles off because they weren't liking it very much in the heat as well. This one too is still a bit eaten, but he's growing well. So hopefully they, now that they're out the bottle, will get a bit more height on them this week. And then we get to the part of the garden where there's not really much happening. Now this is supposed to be my achillea, and I don't know if it is or if it's weeds. So I'm letting them grow just to see what they turn into, but I think they're weeds. This is supposed to be my Docus dara as well, although that looks suspiciously like a tomato plant. Might have been what they had in last time. I think that is Docus dara. I really need to go and check what the seedlings are supposed to look like. But as you can see, this whole row was washed away by the rain. And this one, I maybe have 2 little spots there. I think that's another spot maybe there. Although that's supposed to be the achillea. Everything's a bit messed up here. This too is supposed to be more achillea, and as you can see, nothing. And then at the very end, I've got my ponytails, which aren't doing as much as I thought. They've put on a little bit of height, but not as much as I would like them to. I put in 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and I put in 3 in this row as well, and there's only 1 left. And the other 2, that one was dug up last week, and this one just seems to have disappeared this week as well, so I don't know where they're going. So this row, which is supposed to be my kind of filler and green stuff, is not looking great. But I'm pretty happy with everything else. The only other thing is the dahlia seed that I put in, that I bought last minute and put in, hasn't come up at all. There's nothing coming through there at all, which is a bit disappointing. But I'm so glad I didn't kill my sunflowers. They're still looking really nice and big and tall. And the only ones I didn't do were the teddy bear, because they were in a bit later. I still don't think they're ready to pinch just yet. I'll let them maybe have another week on them. The only thing I actually have to do today is I've brought 1 Valentine sunflower that I had left. These are the kind of buttercream yellow ones, which are really nice. I just noticed that there was a empty spot in with my sunflowers, so I've got one. I'll put it in. And this is my very last Cosmos double click cranberry, which I'm going to put in the curse spot. Like I say, I've put in 3, I think now, in this 1 spot, and they just don't seem to grow. So this one has a little bit more height on it. Let's see if it survives. Don't know. But that's all I'm going to do today. Like I say, I got most of the work done on the allotment through the week this time. We are due some rain. Finally, we had no rain last week, and it was very hot. What are you doing? You look really confused. Oh, the other thing I did do this week was my bottle experiment. You saw that I had made the bottles with the holes in, turned them upside down to see if that would help retain the moisture in the soil. That didn't work at all. They just emptied out completely. I'm guessing, I've seen it done for houseplants. When you're going away on holiday, you can do it. I'm guessing it works because you've got a small contained amount of soil, so that soil can reach saturation point, and then you put the bottle in, and as it dries out, it takes the water from the bottle, whereas this is a massive amount of soil, and it was really dry anyway, so it never reached the saturation point, so it just emptied out. I did refill them a couple of times just to see if the flowers closer to the bottle were going to grow more, but honestly I don't see much of a difference at all, so scrap that idea. It was an experiment, didn't work, but that's fine. So that's all for this week. I will come back down next week. Like I say, we're going to have rain all next week, which is great news, and hopefully it'll help everything just get a little bit higher and a little bit more growth on them. But for this week, that's it. I'll come back next week and show you guys what's happening. Thanks for checking out the channel, and if you liked it, remember to subscribe so you can come along every week and see if this actually turns into any flowers.